Hello everybody, welcome to the third edition of Universe Mode here on WWE 2k22, and we're here live with Friday Night SmackDown, especially the SmackDown after WrestleMania. So a big time show here tonight as we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Fearsome Forum for this edition, and we're going to start off with none other than the Tribal Chief, the Universal and WWE Champion, Roman Reigns, making his first appearance here on SmackDown since becoming the double champion tonight, flanked by his bloodline members, the Cousins, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, as well as his special counsel, Paul Heyman. We have a big time episode for you guys tonight. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. You guys have been sensational this week. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support that this series has gotten in its early goings, and I can't, like I said, I can't thank you enough. Also, if you want to join fellow members of the Mr. Rob community, you can join the Discord. That's going to be in the description below. That is where the link is, as we talk about anything wrestling, sports, whatever it is you want to talk about, as well as keep you up to date with everything going on in the WWE 2k22 universe. But back, we see Roman Reigns making his way into the arena. He's going to start off his show. He's got some stuff to say. So let's see what the head of the table has to say tonight. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Acknowledge me. See, after this past Sunday, is there any more doubt that I am in God mode? I did what I said I would. I smashed Brock Lesnar. And at Backlash, I'm going to smash him and Bobby Lashley. Now, when you're in God mode, you're built different. That is why at Backlash, not only am I going to defend the WWE Championship, but I'm going to defend the Universal Championship as well. Now, they call SmackDown the land of opportunity, right? Well, someone is going to get that chance to seize that opportunity tonight in a fatal four-way match with the winner facing me for the Universal Championship at Backlash. And let's double down. None of the competitors tonight can be former world champions, because when you're a double world champion like myself, you call the shots. So I dare somebody to step up and think they can challenge me for my title. Well, a big-time Fatal 4-Way match tonight in your main event. We'll find out who the participants are in just a second. But first, we're going to start off with Shotzi going one-on-one against Xia Li. Drew Gulak will go one-on-one against Jinder Mahal. A big-time six-man tag match. Sami Zayn and Los Lotharios versus the Viking Raiders and the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet. Naomi, new one half of this Women's Tag Team Champions, will go one-on-one against Natalya. And it'll be Shinsuke Nakamura, Ridge Holland, Xavier Woods, and Madcap Moss getting the opportunity in that Fatal 4-Way match, with a winner with the #1 contender to the Universal Championship at Backlash. But we're going to go back to the arena now. Natalya is making her way to the ring for this contest. I apologize, I forgot to show the simulator results, so I'll just read them off to you. Xia Li beat Shotzi in the first match of the night, followed by Jinder Mahal picking up the victory over Drew Gulak. Then we saw Ricochet pin Sami Zayn in the six-man tag match, so Sami Zayn's horrid week continues. And that brings us to this one-on-one encounter. Natalya representing her team of her and Shayna Baszler going up against one half of the new Women's Tag Team Champions and Naomi, who will be accompanied to the ring by Sasha Banks. Big time opportunity here for the veteran Natalya. She gets to go one-on-one is against Naomi, who these two have had their issues in the past. But Naomi's sporting some new gold around the waist. Her and Sasha Banks were victorious in that fatal four-way Women's Tag Team match at WrestleMania against the champs Carmella, Queen Zelina, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, as well as Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. As we feel the glow here in Milwaukee, Naomi making her way to the ring, showing off in the neon pink, as it'll be her and Natalya, who coincidentally also wears pink. Big opportunity for the team of Shayna Baszler and Natalya. They're a new tag team, but they have a chance to show out against the champions, who will be looking for some new challengers, considering Queen Zelina and Carmella seemed like they had some issues on this past Monday night. I don't think they'll be getting their championship rematch anytime soon. So Naomi, who's had an impressive start to 2022, had a great showing earlier in the year in the SmackDown Women's Championship match against Charlotte. So a very skilled singles competitor, as she will have her hands full. Two-time SmackDown Women's Champion against a former Women's Champion in Natalya. as there's a nice cartwheel as we feel the glow. Crowd is amped up for this one. This is your co-main event of the evening. As you can see, both competitors now in the ring. It's going to be Natalya going one-on-one against Naomi. The bell has sounded, and we are underway in this matchup. Both superstars meet in the center of the ring, and Naomi, will get the first blow as she knocks Natalya to the mat. Now she's going to go to the outside, going to quickly climb to the top turnbuckle, and she's going to miss on Natalya, who actually went for a swing of her own, and she connected with the turnbuckle. So like I said, both these superstars looking for some momentum. This could potentially be the next challengers. I would assume with a victory, Natalya and Shayna Baszler will have the right to be the first in line for the titles. Naomi Sasha Banks are also a newly formed tag team. They have plenty of history dating back to Team Bad when Sasha Banks made her debut on Raw all those years ago. But they had their differences, to say the least, but have reunited here and have won championship gold, as Sasha Banks also gets her very first win at WrestleMania. But back into the ring, Naomi going for a second drop on Natalya. Natalya moves out the way, had that move scouted. Knocks in Naomi against the ropes, going to turn her around. Here's a couple of forearms to the back, wear down the spine of Naomi as Natalya takes control. Natalya, she's been around the ring for a while, the graduate of the Hart Dungeon, the daughter of the late great Jim the Anvil Neidhart. She hits a nice suplex there on Naomi. So Natalya, it's in her blood. She's a good tag team competitor. I think her and Shayna Baszler could have some promise if they do coincide. At first, it does look like a very odd pairing, but I think her and Shayna could make it work as Natalya knocks Naomi to the mat, and Natalya has had all the momentum here in the early going as she climbs to the top turnbuckle. Not really too familiar with Natalya up there. She hits a splash down on Naomi as Natalya doesn't go airborne very often, but she did connect there. And now she flips Naomi over to her back. She's going to tie her up in a submission. Don't think Naomi will tap here, but this will put some pressure on those legs, as you like to think. Natalya setting up for a potential sharpshooter in the future, as Naomi is going to not submit. She's going to flip this over, and Natalya will release the hold, but some damage done to those legs of Naomi, as Natalya now takes her back down to the mat, showing off that good mat game that Natalya has. She's going to go back to the legs here, and she is going to set up for that sharpshooter. She's going to lock it in the early going. She is. Naomi, though, close to the ropes, reaches out and grabs it. So a quick rope break. As Natalya, I think just letting Naomi know, I can lock this move in whenever I need to. But we do have a cover here. Naomi close to the ropes again, but 1, 2, and almost 3, as Natalya almost stole one away from one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions. So Natalya having the momentum here as she walks over Naomi and has continued to just work this one to the mat. She's breaking down her opponents, locking in a couple of submissions, but Naomi is fighting back here. The crowd getting behind the champion as she's going to hit a snap suplex of her own against Natalya, who's down on the mat, and there's that knee across the face of Natalya. Now Naomi going to go back up to the top turnbuckle. Tried earlier, didn't connect, and this time she's going to hit a splash of her own across the abdomen of Natalya. And now Naomi is taking control of this one, working away at the left arm of Natalya. Naomi now setting her up. Here's a snapmare that will drive the momentum backward and forward, working on that neck of Natalya. As there's a kick to the gut. Tried to go up high, but Natalya does counter as she's going to get a few shots of her own, and she's going to knock Naomi back down to the canvas. And the veteran Natalya takes control as there's a swift kick to the back. Now Naomi, though, back to her feet. She's going to hit another snap suplex, and that'll drive Natalya into the ring as Shayna and Sasha look on. Nobody getting involved in this one yet, but Naomi just connected with a rear view. That kind of came out of nowhere. Shayna trying to distract the referee. I think she knows this Natalya is in trouble, but Naomi's going to go for the pin, and Shayna did have the ref distracted, so Naomi gave up on the pin. So Shayna looking out for her tag team partner, as now Natalya will be driven face first into the canvas. Going to go for the pin here. Will this do it? 2 and 3. She does get the victory. Naomi with a quick win over Natalya, who didn't quite recover after that rear view. Shayna tried to help out her tag team partner, but Natalya just didn't have anything left in the tank. That head scissors takedown spiked her into the mat, and Naomi walks away victorious as the champions continue their momentum out of WrestleMania. We'll have to see who steps up, but Naomi gets to celebrate a singles victory tonight as the crowd eating it up. So congratulations to Naomi. We'll go back into the ring now. Shayna's in the ring, and she's actually attacking Natalya. Shayna Baszler turning on her tag team partner. I don't think Shayna was too happy with the loss, and I think it's safe to say that this partnership is over too as Shayna knocks Natalya off of her feet and is just working on her partner. Shayna frustrated with what's been happening lately, but Natalya not going to take that lying down. She is fighting back. She knocks Shayna off of her feet. Now getting a couple kicks in, but Shayna, the fresher competitor, takes Natalya down to the mat. Now in full mount position, just raining down fists across Natalya, who has been through a whole match. Shayna continues the offense, but we're going to cut to a break. But it's now time for our main event, the big Fatal 4-Way Opportunity match, as the 4 competitors who have yet to win a world title here in WWE will have a chance to go one-on-one against Roman Reigns at Backlash. As Shinsuke Nakamura is going to kick his way off to the ring. Nakamura, no Boogs by his side. Him and Rick Boogs were unsuccessful in winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Usos at WrestleMania, where Rick Boogs did suffer that leg injury. We hope Rick Boogs is okay, but he will miss quite a few months before coming back to the ring. But Shinsuke Nakamura, very prominent singles competitor, multi-time Intercontinental Champion, former United States Champion as well. So Shinsuke can win the gold in singles competition. We'll just have to see if he is a little rusty in that department. But he will kick off our Fatal 4-Way match as he sits in the ring. Very flamboyant character as he will pose in front of the crowd. Now, the second competitor in this match is Ridge Holland, who has been rolling with Sheamus as of late. Ridge Holland, a part of that victory at WrestleMania where him and Sheamus teamed up and beat the New Day, which is a pretty big win for him and Sheamus. You have to think that win might guarantee them a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match in the future. But this match isn't about tag teams. This is a big singles opportunity for Ridge Holland, as a win here would put him in line for the Universal Championship, as Ridge Holland hasn't had much singles prowess here on the main roster. He did have a good showing back in January at the Royal Rumble. But Ridge Holland, he has the tools, he has the size, he has the strength, he's got a little bit of the quickness. We'll have to see if that pays dividends in this matchup, as he might not have the experience, but he might have that element of surprise. You know, Shinsuke hasn't seen a lot of him, Xavier has, and Madcap Moss has not, so Ridge Holland could be the dark horse favorite in this matchup as he makes his way into the ring. Now, the third competitor is also coming off of a victory in last week's Andre the Giant Battle Royal here on Friday Night SmackDown. Madcap Moss has yet to win a world title, as he hasn't been on the main roster for too long. But another big opportunity for him. We saw him capitalize in that huge Battle Royal, so he's got the momentum. Fortunately, Happy Corbin was defeated at WrestleMania in that match against Drew McIntyre, and Madcap Moss has shown that he can go in singles. You know, he had a very good match at Crown Jewel against Drew McIntyre in his own right, where he suffered that brutal-looking spot on his neck, who ended up turning out, fortunately, to be okay. As Madcap Moss makes his way to the ring, no Happy Corbin by his side. And a quick little note, I did not realize that him and Holland had the exact same entrance animation, so I'll make sure that that does not continue into future appearances. I'll go back and change Madcap Moss's entrance up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit more jovial, because, you know, Madcap Moss is the jokester. He's no telling no jokes tonight, though, as he's getting ready for his big opportunity. Last superstar in this matchup, Xavier Woods of the New Day. Xavier Woods, one of the more experienced men in this match. We have yet to see Xavier really get an opportunity as a singles competitor, as he's the only New Day member who has not won a world championship. Big E and Kofi Kingston are former WWE champions. So Xavier Woods would love to join in the party. Now, Kofi is not with him tonight. We still pray for Big E. Hopefully he is doing okay in his recovery from that neck injury suffered at the hands of Ridge Holland. But the New Day member, Xavier Woods, he's got a little bit of success in his own right. Remember, won the King of the Ring just last year. Went by King Woods back in 2021. So Xavier Woods, not somebody you want to sleep on. A very technical competitor, a very smart competitor as well, as he has that PhD. As he'll be looking to use his brains in this matchup as he plays Francesca 2 in the ring. But it's time for the big fatal four-way: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ridge Holland versus Madcap Moss versus Xavier Woods, the winner, the #1 contender for the Universal Championship at Backlash, as we are on their way. Shinsuke Nakamura and Madcap Moss start off, and no surprise, Xavier goes right after Ridge Holland, as there's still a lot of bad blood between there. Madcap Moss went for the early pin. That did not work out. There are 4 competitors in this match, so it's going to be very chaotic to say the least. So I'll do my best as a solo commentator to keep up with all the action, as we just saw Xavier Woods hit a tornado DDT on Ridge Holland, as Shinsuke continues to tie up with Madcap Moss. There's a nice German suplex, as both pairs starting to isolate themselves. Xavier, you know, him and Ridge, they have that plenty of history. I think they're going to be occupied with each other. So Shinsuke Nakamura, who just missed with a big splash, that gives him and Madcap Moss an opportunity to go at it. As Ridge Holland, nice, impressive feat of strength there. He just lifted Xavier Woods off the mat like he was curling him and drops him down into the canvas, as we see Shinsuke Nakamura rolls outside the ring. It looks like Xavier will as well. So Ridge Holland and Madcap Moss, the 2 competitors in the ring. The 2 more younger of the 2. We see Madcap Moss, his only singles title is a former 24/7 champion, and Ridge Holland has yet to win any title in WWE, but a nice impressive showing here as he is dominating the ring. Shinsuke Nakamura back in it as Ridge continues to stomp away on Madcap Moss. Now Ridge goes and kicks Shinsuke in the, looks like the midsection. It's now him and Ridge and Shin exchanging blows. Xavier trying to get in on the action, tried to go for a suplex, but it looked like Shinsuke might have interrupted that one a little bit, and now gets dumped to the outside for his efforts by Madcap Moss. And then Ridge just hammers down on Xavier, and now turns his attention to Moss, picks him up. He's going to set him into the corner and just sling him to the mat. Ridge Holland, very impressive here in the early going. He's been the favorite so far, as now he just picks up Xavier and just starts driving the knees into his rib cage and just slings him across the ring. Nice impressive showing by Ridge Holland as 2 competitors roll to the outside. A nice German suplex is here on Shinsuke Nakamura, and a big clothesline. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here. Not going to miss out on too much of the action. We don't go anywhere, as it is a fatal 4-way match. The winner, the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Now we know Cody Rhodes will wrestle his first match on Raw in 6 years, but there's also a couple of other big-time matches this Monday night. Starting off with Tommaso Ciampa going one-on-one against Dolph Ziggler. This match was originally for the NXT Championship, but with Ziggler losing to Braun Breaker this past Tuesday at NXT, it's now a one-on-one encounter, but a grudge match to say the least. Speaking of championships, the United States Championship will be on the line as Damian Priest will get his rematch, and he'll go one-on-one against the champion Finn Balor. We'll have to see what Priest is thinking, considering his actions this past WrestleMania, where he aligned with Edge. All this on a very can't-miss episode of Monday Night Raw. We're back here live with your main event, #1 contenders match for the Universal Championship at Backlash. Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring with Madcap Moss, while Ridge Holland and Xavier Woods continue to go at it at ringside as Ridge drops Xavier headfirst into the apron, and Shinsuke drops an elbow on Madcap Moss. Going to go here for the pin. Ridge and Xavier not paying attention on the outside, but Madcap Moss kicks out at 2. Shinsuke almost picked up the victory there. He's had plenty of momentum in the commercial break, while Ridge Holland, before the commercial break, was dominating. He's continuing to do that just now on the outside of the ring, as there's a nice suplex there by Madcap Moss. Drives Shinsuke into the mat. Shinsuke, though, with a couple of forearm strikes into Madcap, knocks him down. He's quick to his feet as Xavier Woods goes into the steel steps. As Madcap Moss back in the ring takes control. Got to win this one in the ring, so Xavier and Ridge can fight on the outside, but there's no trouble to the action in it, as Ridge Holland has Xavier Woods up for a delayed vertical suplex. That's some impressive strength by Ridge Holland, now with one hand fall-away suplex on Xavier Woods. Impressive strength by the big man. Let the blood rush to his head and then drop him back first, and there's a big forearm right to Xavier's face. as Madcap Moss delivers a couple forearms of his own into the back of Shin. As now Madcap Moss, nice belly-to-belly to Shinsuke Nakamura. Nice opportunity, I would think, to go for a pin, but he is not. Instead, just going to work away on Nakamura's arm. Madcap Moss gets him back to his feet as Ridge just continues to carry Xavier Flowers like he's a sack of potatoes around the outside of the ring. But here's Shinsuke, though, knocking, looks like Madcap Moss down for a couple kicks to the chest. And now going to line him up for one more to the top of the head. Nice connects right on the temple, but Ridge is back in the ring. But he's going to go back to the outside. Shinsuke looking to take advantage, and he gets 3. Pins Madcap Moss. That'll do it. Ridge too slow to get to the cover, and Shinsuke Nakamura is your #1 contender for the Universal Championship. They have an opportunity to go one-on-one against the head of the table, Roman Reigns, on the pay-per-view. Nice showing by Shin. Ridge also had a very interesting showing in his own right, but Shin picks up the victory. But hold on now, wait, back in the middle of the ring, Roman Reigns in, and he's going to hit a spear on Shinsuke Nakamura. That is your head of the table, a despicable act. Nakamura just gone through a huge fatal 4-way, and Roman Reigns just has to have the last lap. Spears him down. That's going to do it for everything here on this episode of SmackDown. We'll see Shinsuke and Roman go one-on-one at Backlash. That has been made official. But don't miss this coming episode of Raw. Cody Rhodes will be back in a Raw ring for the first time in 6 years as he'll be in action. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you leave that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content, as well as join the Discord. Link is in the description below. But this is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.